To order. It's the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, held January 6, 2015 at 6 p.m. at the Council Chambers. City Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Dowling.
Here.
Councilmember Alinsky.
Here.
Council members Garrison and Howdigy are absent. Councilmember Pratt.
Here.
Vice Mayor Piper.
Here.
Mayor Jones.
Here. And I'm not sure, is Riley here? Riley McClellan? If not, Mr. Kyler, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Of course not, Your Honor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item is a brief summary of current events by the Mayor, City Council, and/or City Manager. The public body does not propose, discuss, deliberate, or take legal action on any matter brought up during the summary unless the specific matter is properly noticed for legal action. Mr. Bartosh.
Madam Mayor, council members, been busy over the holiday. Specifically on December 9th, we served 573 kids through the Toys for Tots program, and that was in cooperation with the Marine Corps. Our fire department participated in that significantly. We also accommodated 76 families who came to visit Santa Claus at the Recreation Center. And for those of you who maybe overindulged during the holiday season, our Looking Good Cottonwood started this week, and it's probably still not too late to get involved. The design bid RFQ, request for qualifications, went out this week, actually last week, for the Civic Center HVAC system. So that's moving along. And Community Development has set up an email address for citizens interested in finding out their flood status of their property, and FEMA has been changing some of that, so if anybody has any questions on that, they can go to flood status, all one word, at cottonwoodaz.gov. And also this Friday is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, and anybody who would like to go by and thank police officers for what they do, they'll be available at the Public Safety Building on Friday. Also, our animal control personnel have acquired a grant to provide free neutering and spade for animals to those who aren't able to afford that service. And this is not only for residents of Cottonwood, but also Clarkdale, Camp Verde, Cornville, Bridgeport, and the Verde villages. So anybody who needs assistance in getting their pet neutered or spayed, you can pick up an application at the police department, and they'll help you out with that. That's it, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Council members, Mr. Pratt.
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone that the spring semester at Yavapai College begins January 12th, which is next Monday, and it's never too late to register, or it's not too late to register right now, and you can register for classes through that first week. Just go to yc.edu, click on search and register for classes. We have some really interesting classes, so we hope to see some more people up there.
All right, anybody else busy over the holidays? Okay, let's see, we had Casey Rooney and the city manager and Lana Tollison from the chamber all met at Goodwill on the 17th, and we spoke with President David Hirsch, and we learned about the local stores. We toured their back office or their back facility and found out how the things that people donate help the people right here in our community. And they provide jobs for many people. They provide jobs for disabled people. That could be physically or mentally. So there were just a lot of great things. And they showed us how they try to keep their inventory turned over every 3 weeks so that it's always new. I was just very impressed. I don't know if the city manager has anything to add, but it really opened my eyes as to how much they do help. If they can't sell something here locally, then they do ship. They bundle stuff up in big pallets and they can ship it. There are people all over the world that can wear shoes that we discard and, that don't have any shoes. So it's just really a great program and something that we should all support in our community. And then right after that, we had lunch with Congressman Gosar. His office had contacted me and asked me to set up the lunch. And so I tried to invite folks kind of from the whole sector of the community. And Casey and Doug attended and, kind of represented economic development. I invited Barbara Dember from Verde Valley Medical Center, who shared information with the congressman on hospitals and their needs. And let's see, I'm trying to think of who else. He had an assistant that came with him from Washington, and he was here to tour a cancer center here locally in our community. So anyway, we talked about a lot of different issues that impact local government. And then yesterday, the vice mayor and I were happy to represent our communities at the inauguration. And inaugurated were Douglas Ducey for governor, Michelle Reagan for Secretary of State, Mark Brnovich for Attorney General, Jeffrey DeWitt for Treasurer, Diane Douglas for Public Instruction, and the Honorable Joe Hart as Mine Inspector. Do you have anything to add about the experience? Or?
It was really pretty uplifting. We have a much younger generation right now that are going to be running the state of Arizona with families, and so maybe more things will come about for the schools and other programs for children and some college, like Yavapai College and all grants and stuff for them. But it was really encouraging to see the younger people step up and take the reins, and there's no one, I don't believe any of those were ever, except for the governor. He was a treasurer at one time, but he hasn't been the governor before. This is their first time in the positions they're in. So it's pretty refreshing to know that we're going to start from scratch right now. And I know that when you get elected to an office, sometimes you go in thinking that you can take care of everything like right now. And they'll have a rude awakening when they try to take care of everything right now, but they've got a desire to make changes in Arizona, economic development and schools, and it was really nice to hear some of the things that were being said. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
And the governor was pretty adamant that he favors school choice, and his statement is that he feels that every child's parents, whether they have money or not, should be able to attend the best schools. And he also was adamant about not raising taxes. He said that he worked in the treasurer's office for 8 years, was it? Was it 2 terms?
Yeah.
And that he knew from experience where money is not being spent appropriately. And he said that he would be balancing the budget. He would be submitting a balanced budget. And he said that special interests were going to be very unhappy about that. So, I think it's going to be a really, really tough year because of the budget. And there's going to be a lot of pain felt all over the state. So we just all have to stick together and try to do the best we can and be supportive of each other and try to work with those who are elected, and we'll just do our very best. The vice mayor and I got to meet with our new senator, Sylvia Allen, We found her in the hall. We were waiting to visit with her, and she was headed for the elevator. And we're like, wait. So we introduced ourselves. The vice mayor had already met her a few months ago. And then we also ran into Brenda Barton afterwards, and we were able to visit with her a little while, so.
It was beneficial.
Yeah. Okay, so the next item, if there's nothing else for summaries, is awards. And we have Employee of the Quarter for the fourth quarter, Tawny Fanning, Utility Building Supervisor. And Roger Biggs will present this item.
Madam Mayor, Council, as I'm sure you're aware, the Utility Department has been converting over to a new software platform, and this has taken several years to come to fruition, lots of planning, and we knew going in that there were going to be headaches and problems. With 10,000 customers, we were not disappointed. There's probably been many hundreds. Tawny is the only one with the ability to go in behind the scenes and correct these problems, to fix the software where it's broken, to resolve the conflicts that arise. And I appreciate this opportunity this evening to publicly thank her for her hard work and dedication, and the fact that without her this would not have happened. So thank you, Tawny.
Oh, thank you very much. And we do know from hearing citizens and utility users' comments that they wanted this to happen, the ability to combine bills, and you've been working on that one bill at a time.
Yes.
For many years now, and trying to combine them within the confines of what the old software would allow you to do. So you had to bring up one water bill at a time, as I understand it, and compare everything, and then try to meld them together. So hopefully the new software, after you get all of the kinks worked out, will allow a full conversion.
It's moving forward very well.
Great.
We're over the mountain, I think.
So the council and your city manager and Mr. Biggs have something for you. So if the council would come up, and the city manager and Mr. Biggs, to present a certificate and a check.
Do what?
So we're going to turn this around so we can be heard better. Any more comments?
No, I just appreciate them recognizing it. It's been a struggle.
It is nice to be thanked, isn't it, when you've
Yes.
probably been spending 50 or 60 hours a week or more at work.
Absolutely, yes.
So we would like to give you this plaque as our small thanks, and the vice mayor has a small check for you to go out when you're not working to enjoy yourself.
Thank you guys very much.
And
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it very much.
Now you can go get your brother.
Did you see what he was doing?
No, but I'm sure you can.
He was
He
doing it.
deserves it.
Thank you, Kyla, for taking the photo.
Don't get too comfortable.
Okay, and then we have the eyes as the next presentation. And I'm getting over to my page. Employee of the quarter. So I have the photo. And who is presenting this item? Is Iris here?
I'll present it,
Do it?
Madam
Okay.
Mayor.
Thank you.
What I'd like to do is quickly explain, this is a new program that we put in place in lieu of the safety employee. What we have begun to see is that our own employees are extremely safe in the workplace, and we wanted to expand our safety kind of focus throughout the community. And so Iris and her team created the EYES program, which stands for Employees Yielding Effective Safety. And what it does is it encourages all our employees to report hazards anywhere in the city that they see them. And the more you report, the more opportunity you have of being recognized as the EYES employee of the quarter. And so we have done this for 2 quarters now, and again, it seems to be picking up speed with employees becoming more focused on recognizing and reporting safety hazards as they go about their daily jobs, and even when they're off duty, when they begin to see things that they know are a safety hazard or that need to be corrected. And it can be something as simple as a sign that's missing. They report it, we get the sign taken care of. And so the more eyes we have out there looking for things that are broken or need to be replaced, not only does it make our city look better, but hopefully it also keeps our citizens safe as well. So this month, our EYES employee of the quarter is Rick Contreras. And Rick identified a safety issue and brought it to our attention so that we could get it fixed. And again, this is something that somebody could trip over, as we've had happened in the past. And not only does it potentially impact somebody's safety, but also could result in a claim against the city and our taxpayers that we end up having to pay. So our thanks to Rick and for his participation. And if Rick, you would come forward. I think the mayor has a certificate for you.
All right. I was just, his report was this jagged, dangerous pipe that they were able to get fixed, and so nobody tripped over it or a child didn't get hurt or something of that sort. So, if you'd all come down, and Chief. Is it nice we're not tied up to... So on behalf of the city manager and the city council, we'd like to present this plaque to you. And thank you for making sure that we are all safe.
Team effort.
I guess you want the envelope.
Sir. Thank you, Mayor.
Congratulations and thank you. We have great employees in this city. They're appreciated. Okay, the next item is call to the public. This portion of the agenda is set aside for the public to address the council regarding an item that is not listed on the agenda for discussion. However, the council cannot engage in discussion regarding any item that's not officially listed on the agenda for discussion and/or action. This is per Arizona Revised Statutes 38-431-02H. Comments are limited to a 5-minute time period. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak about an item that is not on the agenda? If not, we'll close the floor to the public and go to the next item. Approval of minutes.
I move we approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Linsky made the motion to approve the minutes. Mr. Mr. Pratt, I do know him very well. Seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Comments regarding items listed on the agenda are limited to a 5-minute time period per speaker. Consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or a citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item number 1 is extension of premises liquor license application submitted by Justin Ove for a new outdoor tasting patio area for Arizona Stronghold Vineyards located at 1023 North Main Street. And did I pronounce that name correctly? Ove? Ove, okay. Item number 2 is resolution number 2773, approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Department of Fire Building and Life Safety Office of Manufactured Housing. Item number 3 is resolution number 2744, reappointing Frank Leupold, a member of the city's Municipal Property Corporation Board. Item number 4 is resolutions number 2775 and 2776, reappointing Ryan Bigelow and Christian Bernosky to the Historic Preservation Commission. Are there any items that a member of the council would like to pull for discussion tonight? Are there any items that a member of the public might like to discuss separately? If not, I would entertain a motion. Mr. Pratt?
I move you remembered my name this time.
I'm good.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, so Mr. Pratt made the motion, the Vice Mayor seconded it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Well, we're the same age, Terrence, so you know how it gets with the brain
believe me,
sometimes.
I do.
Okay. Item number 9. Oops. Yes, we will read. We have several resolutions to read. City Clerk, please read resolutions number 2773, 2774, 2775, and 2776 by title only.
Resolution number 2773, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, approving an intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Department of Fire, Building, and Life Safety Office of Manufactured Housing to enforce installation standards for manufactured homes, factory-built buildings, and mobile homes. Resolution number 2774, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, appointing Frank Leopold, a member of the city's Municipal Property Corporation. Resolution number 2775, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, appointing Ryan Bigelow, a member of the city's Historic Preservation Commission, and establishing his term of office. Resolution number 2776, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, appointing Christian Bernosky, a member of the city's Historic Preservation Commission, and establishing his term of office. Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. New business. The following items are for council discussion, consideration, and possible legal action. Item number 1 is approving 2 additional hours of public operation per week at the Cottonwood Public Library. Ms. Ward.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. Looking at our scheduling and knowing that we're having requests for more hours for the library, I did come up with Tuesday through Friday, we could open a half hour earlier, which would give us 2 additional hours a week. I'm asking for your approval. At no cost to the city because staff is there.
I think that's a no-brainer. Is that what you would say, Mr. Pratt?
I was going to say that, and I was also going to say that in the packet it says Tuesday through Thursday, but really it's
Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer.
And I'm just so pleased because at one of the very last mayor's meetings or mayor's coffee talks that I held, the question was asked, why aren't we open more at the library? And so I think that we all hear that, and staff hears that, and the city manager hears that. So I'm very pleased to that you figured out a way to add some more time to be open. And
one more, right? We can't do Monday or Saturday
because you don't have enough staff
to be able to be open those 2 days.
You were explaining in the packet that your retiree was at the top, of course, after being here 20 years, the top of the pay scale. And I'm wondering, and I guess Rudy's not here, city manager's here, but is there any way that eventually we could still budget that amount of money and maybe add a half-time person so that we could be open more on Monday? Have you guys, I'm sure you've already thought about that, already discussed it.
Well, that item is actually the next item.
Oh.
That budget amount.
And I read my packet. Oh, well, that's where I read it then. It's not this item. Okay, hang on just a second. That, and there won't be any more for another half person within those.
If you approve it, I've spent it.
But I mean, I answered my
Yes.
own question because
Yes.
you're already spending it if it's approved, and there won't be anything
Left.
from that pile of money
Right.
to do anything more than that.
Correct.
Okay. Well, hopefully this year in our budget, we could find a way to add a few more hours to our library, because it is the public's most requested request, I think. Okay, so this item, any discussion on this item? The first one, adding the 2 hours, that's pretty simple. Any comments from the public on that? Mr. Pratt?
I move to authorize 2 additional hours of public operation per week at the Cottonwood Public Library.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Pratt made the motion and Mr. Dowling seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, and the other item, request to reclassify a library clerk position, range 11, to a youth services coordinator position, range 17. Ms. Ward.
Yes, we've had the youth services coordinator position frozen for approximately 10 years. I'm requesting to bring it back at a lower salary range due to the receipt of the grants we've received in the last few years, the addition of attendance that we're getting in the youth services area. Our library supervisor has been trying to maintain adult services and youth services, and this would allow her to focus on more adult services, and it would allow us to have someone in the youth services department that could oversee things and continue on with improvements. So, as you were speaking earlier, due to the retirement, the funds are in my budget for the increase. And they would maintain the same duties they're doing now also. So it's not a new position.
So it seems like it's just something that would be a very positive thing. And my question that I have on here has already been answered. Any discussion, comments for, against? Any comments from members of the public? So that takes up everything and there's no more left for another position.
Not at this time. I wish.
Yes, we all do. Sounds like a huge list of items that that person will be responsible for. And I'm really proud, I mean, of all of the programs that you do for the children and the youth, and you've applied for and received grants, and it's just a fun place for kids to go and a good place for kids to be.
We've got a good team.
Yes, you do.
Hard-working team.
You do. Okay, so I would entertain a motion. Vice Mayor?
I move to reclassify one of the library clerk positions at the Cottonwood Public Library to a youth services coordinator at range 17.
Second.
Okay, so the Vice Mayor made the motion, Mr. Alinsky seconded it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item number 3 is resolution number 2777, appointing a member to the Planning and Zoning Commission. And we have Ms. Najad with us tonight to present this item.
Madam Mayor, council members, we have one commissioner's term is up, and this is Ray Cox. Last 3 years he's been serving for the Planning Commission, And because of this opening, we advertised the position, and we received 2 applications from one from Ray Cox himself and also from Mr. John Ask. And even though my report mentions that Mr. Cox has some attendance issues due to his private practice in his field, he's been the only architect for the commission, and he's been a professional advisor for the planning commission. And we thank him for that in the past 3 years, and also he's been very, very helpful in projects reviews. Again, there's 1 opening tonight, and we have 2 applicants for the position.
All right, thank you very much. So, council, do you have any specific questions that you want to ask the applicants? If not, I will ask them to share some information about why they feel that they would be a good member for the seat. And then one other thing I'd like to ask them, if you are applying for a seat on the Planning and Zoning Commission, you will often use the general plan. And so I would like them to expound a little bit on the general plan and maybe what their favorite part is of the general plan, or how they feel that the general plan assists the commission in their role and what
As far as the general plan goes, I don't, nothing about it. I've just had about 40 years of experience in business and construction and city government and that, so.
I saw your application, and you had 36 or 37 years, I think, in public works in Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah. So many years of working. Okay, anything else you want to share?
Got to have something to do. I thought this would be nice and easy.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Mr. Cox?
The general plan is a good thing to have to maintain the environs of the city and improve things where we need them, as in some of the traffic things that came through are very important in trying to slow down traffic and going from a commercial area into a public residential area, to acknowledge that there's a difference in the traffic pattern and the dangers of children in the neighborhood and things like that. Also, things to encourage developers and owners of property to improve their environs and maintain their buildings and do that. Also, I think we have some improvements in the landscape ordinance in there that encourage people to improve the properties, especially up and down the main throughways through our city, to make it look better and improve things and fix up old buildings and derelict things, and hopefully that will encourage any developer coming through to develop some vacant land that's still along some of the main roads to do better projects than just barely coming up to the local existing facilities. So it's a very good, a lot of work to it, and they've worked on it for quite a while and pulled up a lot of good information from other communities and how they write their programs into that same kind of report.
Okay.
That's great.
All right, thank you. Anything about your qualifications that you'd like to share with the council and the public?
Before being on the planning review board, I was on the design review board for, I think, 5 years or more. Before that, I finished off someone else's term on there and then did full term myself on that, so I've volunteered for quite a while. I've volunteered in the area, in the community, for the wine consortium program, helped out on some of the other things, helped a lot at Yavapai College on building the vineyards that we've got up there now, and a lot of man hours out there, so I feel like I'm really kind of planted out there. I've also worked with Walk on Main, helping do wine pouring for the wine consortium there and things like that.
Okay, and so you are a licensed architect and,
I got licensed in 1982.
okay. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for your service. You're
Thank you.
appreciated.
Can I
Many
ask-
hours, yes.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Can you speak to the attendance issues and what happened, or is it going to continue to be an issue?
I've got it pretty well under control. One thing I've done recently is actually just a program I can watch later, so that's not a problem. I think one other time I was absent from the meeting here, because that was the only time the client could meet. We needed to meet before they left town, I think, if I remember right. So it was really a minor thing, but that's when it had to happen. I had to apologize to the board and say, I need to get this done. And that's a paying job, and it's volunteer here on the board. So.
Any
Just
other
curious if there
questions?
was- I just didn't know if there was a work conflict that was occurring that it sounds like you've changed that.
Yeah, I'm pretty serious with the clients that I do volunteer for the community in that manner once a month, and I would really appreciate them to respect that and not try and schedule something at that point. And I don't remember all the details about that particular thing, but
Someday we'll pay you.
somehow we got around it and kept working on down the road. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, these highly paid positions, huh? Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Mr. Kyler, you signed that you would like to speak, and we appreciate that as the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and a citizen of Cottonwood, I would ask that you give serious consideration to reappointing Mr. Cox to the commission. I found him to be very knowledgeable, and he does bring to the commission things that some of the others, including myself, in architecture and planning and specifications, that we sometimes need explained to us, and he's a big help. So if you can take it, I appreciate considering Mr. Cox to be reappointed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments. Are there any members of the public who would like to speak? Mr. Pratt?
Yeah. Seems like we've done that pretty regularly, and so if it's time for motion, I have no.
I think everybody's had their say, so
Can I
go
just-
ahead.
can I just say
Yes.
that as far as the appointments and everything, I think, we should also appoint those who are best fitted for the position. And I think in looking at both applicants, I think, Raymond Cox definitely has more qualifications to serve in the capacity, so I appreciate that he has served as well, but he also, at this point, seems to be the best applicant for the position.
Okay, so, Mr. Pratt?
I move to approve resolution number 2777, appointing Raymond Cox to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a 3-year term that expires January 6th, 2018.
Second.
Okay, so Mr. Pratt made the motion, the vice mayor seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4 is establishment of a new part-time resolution. And I even circled it just now, thinking, come on, you got to remember that. But I can be confident that none of you will allow me to forget.
You caught yourself this time.
Resolution number 2777 by title only.
Resolution number 2777, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, appointing Raymond Cox a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission and establishing his term of office. Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, the next item is establishment of a new part-time position of Maintenance Technician 1 for Park Facilities Maintenance. And we have Ryan Bigelow, who will present this item.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, thanks for having me tonight. Here to discuss the creation of a new part-time position for Maintenance Technician 1. Currently at Riverfront Park, the youth and adult softball and baseball complexes, we're using Ready Help Temp Agency and the heavy volunteer work of our of our chief of police, Mr. Fanning here, to keep up with the expanded usage of both the complexes for Little League and club teams, baseball teams, softball teams, and of course we're looking at expanding with tournaments. Given that, historically there's been, we've used a temp agency. That person has fallen under the construction maintenance supervisor. At a recent staff meeting, we discussed that it might be more effective and more efficient to have that person report to the recreation services supervisor. That would be myself, given that a lot of the scheduling and programming runs through me anyways. I have a better feel for who's going to be out there and when. A lot of these teams will schedule practices on the fly and on the go, and it's easier if that's under me to actually schedule the maintenance out there as well. This position also helps save the city some money. By not using a temp agency, we would be looking at saving approximately $4 by the creation of this position. Also possibly giving us the ability to hire a second employee for high usage times, given if Little League season's going, adult softball complex is going, and tournaments are going, we might need another person. Even if we brought on that second person, we would still be looking at saving money, given the fact that we're spending a lot less running through a temp agency. We reviewed this with the Administrative Services General Manager, the Development Services Manager, and we're just seeking council approval tonight for the creation of a new part-time position for field maintenance technician.
Mr. Pratt.
I'm going to be kind of a wise guy, Ryan. I can't help it. You said it will save $4. Is that a year or is that an hour?
I'm sorry, $4 an hour. Yeah.
I couldn't help myself.
Even $4 a year is good, though, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify.
Every penny counts.
I wanted to clarify that, so it is a pretty good savings.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any other questions from council members? Any comments from members of the public on this item? And Mr. Garrison did send an email, which I shared for the public record with the vice mayor, with the city clerk, and he wanted to state his support of this item.
Yeah, I think it's very important.
And he was, I guess, quite ill and didn't want to come and cough all night into the microphone, so that email is on record, the public record with the city clerk. So any comments from the public? If not, I would entertain a motion. Vice Mayor?
I move to authorize the creation of a new part-time position of Field Maintenance Technician 1 in the city service.
Second.
Okay, so the Vice Mayor made the motion, and I do remember his name now. Mr. Pratt seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Ordinance number 607.